Hello, Sagittariuses. Welcome to an amazingly life-transforming month of August where you're going to reset your life for an entire 15 years. Yeah, you heard me right. And if you are new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothy and I am a lunatic astrologer. My brand is Lunatic Astrology for the moon, Luna. And I hope you are going to enjoy the following report for you, about 10 to 15 minutes, about how this month plays out. Don't forget, if you're new, please do like my channel, and I would love it if you subscribe. It does help me grow. Hit that bell for notifications because then you know when I post anything, and I do a lot of live premieres where I'm in the chat box with you and we can connect together as we listen to my recorded videos. Lastly, got a lot going on in my description box. Please check it out. I mean, if you want to learn astrology with me, intermediate level, first in September, we're doing divine timing with very little known, some of them, timing tools and techniques. And if you want to learn astrology from the square one and read your chart and time your best life, then check out my class that I'm teaching starting in October. It will probably go 8 weeks this time. Last class was 6. I want to take it a little slower for all the newbies, but it is a really great introduction to astrology where you learn with me live. So check it out. And everything I have, including my newsletter, is down below. Okay, so let's talk about this Sagittarius story. Well, first of all, Sagittarius, the big boom, right? August 1st and 2nd is important. It's actually already operating as of July 20th, but the biggest critical juncture is a triple conjunction of Uranus, Mars, North Node at 18 degrees of Taurus on August 1st and 2nd. And this is important. It happens only once every 15 years. Last time was in Pisces, but this one is more important. It hasn't happened since the time of Alexander the Great because, which is 2,300 years ago, Mars is joining into the fray. Now, this big boom is a story of resetting your life for 15 years, and the big boom in your chart is a reset in the area of your life that has to do with health and work. The routines for health, if you had health problems, Sagittarius, are turning a corner, but also the job, the work, the workspace, the work routines that you do in your life, as well as the karmic debt you have, are getting a big kaboom. And it's also the house of debts, like credit card debts. And you may actually find that this is going to turn it all around for you. And if you've been living on a debt-fueled life with borrowed money, this can really turn around as well. Now, how this plays out in exactitude for you, it's best to listen to the big boom reality shift video that I've already recorded. Check my channel for that, but I'll put that in the description link below as well, because I will spend a lot more time talking about that reset for you. But it certainly looks good in terms of changing the way your health routines and work routines work in a positive and exciting new way. Now, we're going to come back to that in a bit because mid-month there's a reactivation of that point, but let's start off with the chronology of the month. So first of all, at the beginning of the month, Venus will trine Neptune around the 7th and the 8th. This is a very positive development for everybody. It's higher love, imaginal beauty, creativity, art, inspiration, and the muse is on steroids. Venus is in cozy Cancer, where she feels like she wants to bring nurturant love to the table, safety and security, nesting instincts. She's often very connected to the familial and the nature of family when she's in Cancer, love with the family, wanting to be with the family, things like that. But in your case, Venus in Cancer is your 8th house. Now, that's other people's money, that's shared resources, like with your spouse or business partner, bank, mortgages and loans, or investments like in the stock market. Now, she's good for you here to bring you money. She's a goddess of money in that area of your sky, and that's the AU for her transit through Cancer. I have a separate video on that. Just check it out on my channel. But that said, this is a Venus who looks back over her shoulder at Neptune in your 4th house of homeland and real estate, and that can very much look like an opportunity to find a better home, lease a better home, sell a home, or buy a home, or beautify the home with ample funds and resources to do so. That is happening for you with that beautiful flow of energy on the 7th and the 8th of the month. And lastly, if you're single, this could be a secret love affair that you're conducting in and from your home. Secret love affairs, 8th house, Venus, goddess of love and sex. All right, well, love and romance, okay? Next, I think what we'll talk about is the full moon in Aquarius, and it's going to be occurring on the 11th. It corresponds with this energy of the sun is squaring Uranus. The moon is squaring Uranus. They're both squaring the North Node and Uranus. All right, at 17 and 18 degrees of Taurus, while the full moon is at 19 degrees of Aquarius. So this creates what's called a T-square. It's intense, it's high tension, high voltage tension. So it's not just an everyday okay, full moon. But in your sky, it has a particular flavor. Go back to the beginning of August, end of July in terms of the big boom. And then we're going to connect a dot here together. We're going to ask ourselves, what is dramatically shifting with a full moon light of revelation or even completion in your natal third house, your third house of travel and trips, the local neighborhood and siblings, and skills-based learning and your online platforms. All of those areas are really up for grabs here. You're really having some significant action. And because it's a full moon shining in that Aquarian zone, by the way, and Saturn is there as well right now, this could be an elder sibling or some kind of relative who's elder becoming prominent in your awareness. And it could even be a father or father figure. And this is going to be connected to the big boom in the sixth house. Now, I don't want to worry you, but for some of you Sagittarius, it could be an elder relative who falls ill, or there's an understanding that their health is not in a great place, right, in the time of the full moon. And that's just one of the things that could show up. But also you could be looking for some kind of completion of things that you've been doing in that third house, like the end of a course of study, the leave taking of a neighborhood that you no longer want, or the desire to fulfill a trip plan to maybe travel to a foreign land or anywhere, because we have 9-3 active, and you may be settling down like to plan a trip away, or even taking the trip abroad or far away or close to home, but it can have a very big travel signature. A little bit of concern with Saturn there. There could be some slowdowns in the travel, but that's nothing new. We see that anyway right now. And this big boom is a longer story. So whatever you're doing around the full moon, add 2 weeks, right? So the 11th to the end of the month, to the 27th of the month, you're going to find that it's really importantly connected to how you're resetting your livelihood, your work, your habits for health and work over the next 15 years. I mean, for some of you, it could like stepping away, even retiring, because Venus is sextiling the big boom and she's in the 8th house. That's a retirement signature. So some Sagittarius may be looking at retiring themselves out of a certain career path to set a course for something new. Now, one of the things that I also want to talk about is the 13th and 14th of the month with Mars trining Pluto, which is very powerful and positive. Now, Mars will trine Pluto from Taurus, where he's finishing up his journey there. And Pluto is in Capricorn, which is a place where he has been since 2008, and he has been transforming our monetary systems, our bureaucracies, the stock market. And it's not been easy. Corresponds with the beginning of the subprime loan scandal back in the day. It's a money house for you where Pluto's transiting Sagittarius. So it's all about your money. It's about your earnings. It's the way you earn money. And now you've been transforming your money, earnings, and all of that way back when, since 2008. So this is not a new story for you. And yet, as this is ongoing, there's this particular once every 2-year event where Mars can trine that Pluto in Capricorn, and this is it. So it's a very intense, time for you. This is once every 2 years that this trine happens in this way. So the 13th and 14th of the month, Mars is doing the trine from your 6th house of work routines, habits, and health routines, and debt. Now, this can look like the elimination of a debt, paying off a credit card for sure. Being able to pay off the mortgage, pay down the car loan, something like that. But it's not that simple. It is a deeper and more profound level of taking that big boom further and saying, how are you going to transform and completely regenerate and move into some new style of creating abundance, wealth, and safety for yourself? Second house is some basic needs: food, shelter, water, and money, and earnings and possessions. Mars likes to eliminate things, and Pluto is in the house of things we put in our mouth. Mars is in the house of health protocols, powerful new recognition. You can't eat gluten. You no longer should eat animals. Wine doesn't work for you. Cigarettes are bad for you. Weed doesn't serve you. Anything like that, big transformation energy could be happening as well in this time of the month on the 13th and 14th. Moving onwards, 21st to the 23rd, Mercury will oppose Neptune while also trining Pluto. Now, Mercury opposite Neptune is some kind of dispelling of an illusion or delusion, or some kind of news or information coming out that had been maybe incorrect, or misinformation, disinformation, or whatever you want to call it. Personally, this is a career development for you. It's Mercury in your 10th house. Colleague, coworker, career space energy, gossip, news, information. It's opposing your house of home. What kind of illusions were you having? You've got Juno and Neptune. That's like me and my marriage partner in my home. And now Mercury at the top of the sky is saying, over here, we're going to talk about this real thing. You could have a boss or somebody in your powerful career space delivering a news or message that opposes what looks like a delusional relationship in your fourth house. I don't know. It's hard to make sense of it all. Or a contract for a real estate purchase that you realize you get some information from somebody in a higher up position that it's got faulty stuff in it. You don't want to go ahead, or that the house is a broken foundation or something like that. So you're going to maybe put the contract with the trine to Pluto. This is going to work out in your behalf, in your favor. It's Mercury and it's Mercury in his home sign of Virgo, yay him, in a trine to Pluto in your money house. So it's kind of saving the day financially. So from something that you could have misstepped on financially, either with a marriage partner or a real estate situation, okay? Or maybe negotiating separation agreements and realizing you're not going to get the best deal here. Better be careful. Maybe bring in a lawyer, things like that. Mercury rules the details. In Virgo, it's the details. Look at the fine print on any agreements or disagreements that you're signing documents on, especially with Athena, the lawyer one, in going through Gemini at the same time. Now, Mars will move into Gemini, which he'll be doing for like a god awful long time, August 20th, till March of next year. It's a very rare transit. This development will put you in a condition where you are going to spend a lot of time with Mars in your seventh. I don't want to worry some of you Sag suns, moons, and risings. However, if you are not in a good relationship, Mars will separate the two of you out. If the significant other and you aren't meant to be together, Mars is cleaving, cutting, ending, and severing. At the very least, it's your partner is argumentative, conflictual, and difficult. And that's a long time to go through that, isn't it? August 20th all the way till next March. It's rarely long. It's usually 6 weeks, not this time. Usually he's there for 6 weeks every 2 years. Now Mars is there for like 7 months because of a retrogradation later on in the month. We'll be talking about that in a longer video, but be aware of this because that August 20th begins what looks like the potential of separation from some significant business or love partner. And what can you do? Mars is going to do his best to serve you in what he thinks is your best medicine. On the 25th to the 29th, the sun in Virgo will also square that Mars. And, Mars in Gemini, Mars in the house of your marriage, the sun in Virgo, the top of the sky where that Mercury was tattletelling earlier in the month, as I mentioned, which was the 21st to the 23rd, and now on the 25th to the 29th. Okay, Mercury is your reputation. It's how people see you as well as your job and career stuff. Possibly there's gossip about your information coming out that is squaring Mars, and therefore Mars in your seventh house squaring that Mercury could literally be your business partner or spouse publicly saying things about you that make you want to cringe. Or you announcing Mercury that there's a breaking away from a business or marriage partner. Any of those are possible. It's a tense aspect, okay? Not going to lie. It kind of bleeds through the 25th to the 29th. And lastly, we're going to finish some month on a high note. So it gives a good cheer to end the day, right? August 31st, there's a beautiful Mars sextile Jupiter that happens every 2 years in this particular way. And Mars is, moving through, as we said, your seventh house, and Jupiter at that same time is moving through his happy space of Aries, where he feels full of a leader-like stuff. He's retrograding though, but he's still just Jupiter. And so there's opportunity or luck or growth here. And it is in your romance house or your children or your play, pleasure, enthusiasm, inspiration, and joy for life. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but it could be that you fall for someone else, and that's why there's tension with the one you're with. It could also be that there's joy, release, play, and fun and pleasure because there is a release from the tension with the one you're with. Or Mars here, sextiling Jupiter, Mars in your seventh, could be a lucky break financially, coming through something you do with another person, a collaborative endeavor that yields some financial resources and financial luck. And lastly, it could be about your children, unlucky opportunity that one of your children tells you about, or that one of your children says they're going to get married, or when your children tells you, because I'm looking at seventh house, fifth house themes, that they are doing something exciting that you're cheering them on for. Anyway, just some thoughts. You end on a happy note. We all do. August 31st, give or take a few days, is that Mars sextile Jupiter. So yay us all. Mars sextile Jupiter could definitely bring you a leisure trip or a pleasure trip as well in that fifth house. And you may do that with a partner, business, or love. But a lot of you are looking like you're having, if you're a Sag sun or moon or rising, some tension with a significant other coming aboard that Mars into Gemini, August 20th, add 7 months. So it's going to be a little bit of a rough ride for some of you. Okay. Oh, and if you're a singleton, I should have even mentioned that, and you are a Sag, Sun, Moon, or Rising, certainly that end of the month, August 31st, could spark a lovely romance. No one wants to complain there, do we? All right, I'm going to stop the video. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and it helps my channel grow. And please check my description box for everything I have to offer you. If you sign up for Cosmic Moonshine, my newsletter, you get a free 2022 All Signs videos. That's 60-minute videos times 12 for free. They were for sale for 47. I'm luring you to my Cosmic Moonshine forecast newsletter. Comes out now every Saturday. Stuff that you won't find anywhere else. I give to you personally in a written format. So check that out. Maybe you want to jump aboard my newsletter. Ciao, ciao.